Need some help finding some edge in the prop market? Check out the Props AI tool on the LineStar app. It's a one-stop shop for all the information you need to make smarter bets. Download the LineStar app today. Welcome to the NBA Prop Show presented by LineStar, your top 3 NBA player prop bets for today that are available on Underdog, Sleeper, Chalkboard, or Parlay Play, or wherever you place your bets. Alongside Tyler Wiemann, I'm Shannon Sommerville. Happy Thirsty Thursday to everyone out there. Hopefully we can go out there and get ourselves some nice beverage money on this Thursday. We've got 4 NBA games on the slate for today. Tyler, it's always tough at this point in the season when we're dealing with a lot of teams, especially tonight, it seems like, that have so many new pieces to them. How do you go about kind of handicapping these spots early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Sometimes, projections are just taking in some different numbers that maybe aren't that accurate. With the new team changes and all that, you kind of got to guess a little bit. And the way I would probably handicap is stick with your gut and think about the range of the outcomes for the players and what their new role is going to be. Also don't look at a 1-game sample size.
Yeah, that's pretty good advice there. Well, yesterday's picks, we did get rescued. Our underdog pick for Emmanuel quickly got rescued because he left the game in the first half. He had 13 points, and we took the over on 21.5 points. So he was on track for that, but he had to leave the game because of a contusion, I believe, on his hip. He had a hard fall in that game, so was taken out. Luckily, underdog gave us the rescue there. We did not hit on the over on Jonas' point total. He had just 25, and we needed him to get 29. And then the one that did cash was James Harden over 22.5 points. He finished with 28. Tyler, I know you were high on him yesterday, and that was a great call for us yesterday. So hoping for some more great calls today. Again, our picks are available: Underdog, Sleeper, Chalkboard, and Parlay Play. And if you don't have those apps, download them. Use the promo code LineStar so you can get a nice deposit match plus 1 free month of the LineStar app, which is the app that we're using to help us find the best value in the prop market. As Tyler mentioned at the top of the show, early in the season, it's kind of hard to handicap. So the Props AI tool really gives you a good starting off point for looking at the prop market and trying to figure out which way you want to go on those different apps, whether you're playing in Underdog or the generic sports book. So take a look at that app when you get a chance. It's linestarapp.com, and the tool we're using that we will be referencing throughout this video is called the Props AI tool. All right, let's get into tonight's 4-game slate, and let's start things off with another new piece here. We've got the Washington Wizards center, Jonas Valanciunas, over 10 points. LineStar's projection for Joval is 16.7. Last year with the Pelicans, he was averaging about 12 points per game. What do you like about this play here tonight for Joval on his new team, going up against a tough matchup, Celtics?
Yeah, the thing is that Joval, wherever he has gone, as long as he is playing, he has been extremely productive. The Wizards don't really have anybody behind him as far as a big man, and they paid him. I think he gets 24 to 28 minutes. And last year, he was averaging 11 points over the last 20 games of the season in only 20 minutes a game. So I think how it plays out is this line is just too low for how much he's going to play, being as productive as he's been in his career. I mean, it's not a great spot for him versus Boston, but I think it's good enough for him to get over this 10-point mark. He's going to play 24 to 26 minutes probably, and he should probably get there.
And from what I've read, the Wizards are really trying to make him a key point of this rotation. So it's a good spot here. Yeah, as they should, and get him going
offensively, he's always been super productive. And, not always the same can be said on his defensive side, but he was one of the better pieces on this offense.
Well, yeah, we don't need him for defense tonight. Just get over that 10.5 points total for us. All right, next up, let's go to another player who is, on some new surroundings, but we're backing him tonight. We're going San Antonio Spurs small forward Harrison Barnes over 2.5 rebounds. LineStar's projection for Barnes tonight is 4.3. Barnes was with the Sacramento Kings last season, and he was averaging 3 rebounds per game with them. He has gone over this 2.5 rebounds total in 3 of 5 preseason games with the Spurs. where he was really only averaging about 23 minutes per game. Tonight, the Spurs are going up against the Dallas Mavericks, who are a good rebounding team. They were fourth best last year in opponent rebounds per game, but this number at 2.5 for Harrison Barnes just seems low. It seems like Pop really wants to get him involved in this offense and kind of has really just highlighted how good of a veteran leader he is and how much he's going to help the team. I expect him to be in the starting lineup tonight. Can you I know that you were checking on whether he was going to make the starting lineup tonight. Is that the case?
I think he will be. I mean, there's nothing for sure right now.
Yeah, they've held it close to the vest. They haven't really released that.
Yeah, and if you look at what Papas did or the Spurs have done in the offseason, they brought in Chris Paul, brought in another vet with Harrison Barnes, and I think he's really trying to teach these younger guys how to go about their day-to-day aspect in the NBA, and that's exactly what Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes brings to this. He is going to play a decent amount, I believe. They may be pretty deep in their rotation, so maybe he only gets like 28 minutes instead of like 32 or 34 as a starter. But in 28 minutes, I think he gets there. In preseason, he was getting there in like 24-ish minutes. So 2.5 is just a bit low for me in this spot when he's going to be a centerpiece of the team, at least leadership wise.
Yeah, absolutely, which can equate to more minutes and, more volume. So that's a good spot there. Over 2.5 rebounds for Barnes. And lastly, yet another guy on a new team this year, Donte DiVincenzo, formerly with the Knicks, now on the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're going over on his points total, which is at 11.5 right now. LineStar's models project DiVincenzo to put up 18.5 last year, averaging 15.5 per game. Last game that he was out there, just 10 points for him, but he was just 3 for 11 from the field, which wasn't super normal from him. We usually see him knocking down a bunch of threes. He was having some trouble there. So he did play 32 minutes in that game, which is encouraging because it's basically telling us that he's got a pretty big role in this Minnesota Timberwolves offense. And he's going up against Sacramento, a team that was kind of mediocre in terms of their defense last year. They were 17th in opponent points per game, 18th in opponent three-pointers made. I know that there's been a lot of changes on both teams here, but with the Timberwolves, what we've seen, and it is just a one-game sample size there, so it's hard to take too much out of it. But we know Donte DiVincenzo is a scorer, so I think that number at 11.5 is a little bit too low. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to come in as the team's sixth man pretty much all year round, but we have a little bit of a different situation right now, and I thought this could play out, and I actually said it prior to or on my DFS video before that first game, is that Conley barely played in the preseason. And so I was a little worried about him playing his normal minutes, and I thought that Donte DiVincenzo would be the one rewarded with those extra minutes. That's exactly what ended up happening. Conley only played 23 minutes. Donte played 32, and I expect – or sorry, Conley only played 20 minutes. I expect today that can continue. Maybe Conley plays a few more minutes, but I think Donte is going to be picking up the slack. I have him in my personal stuff at 30 minutes right now. But this line is low enough that even if he goes back to the full backup role of like 22-ish minutes, 24, he can still hit it. He is good enough shooter and explosive enough on offense to do that in a six-man role.
And, he was a little salty over that trade, I think, to the Minnesota Timberwolves coming from the Knicks. He was with his, guys from Villanova. So that was definitely – it's sad to see DiVincenzo leave as a Knicks fan, but, we'll see what happens with the Knicks. I still got some concerns after that first game, but he's
now
trying to
you guys got Michael Kidd, Gilchrist, Bridges.
That shot is horrendous, but I digress. Who shot isn't is Donte DiVincenzo, always a three-point sniper that you got to watch out for. So over 11.5 points is our play here. We are combining that on an entry on Underdog with Harrison Barnes over 2.5 rebounds and Jonas Valanciunas over 10.5 points. And if we go 3 for 3, one randomly selected commenter will win $60 because we're just putting them on an entry on Underdog. If we go 3 for 3, we're just giving you the winnings of our tickets because on this show we like to put our money where our mouth is. So, gotta be in it to win it. like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below, and you're in it to win it. So let's get out there on this Thursday, go make some money. And if you'd like, go check out our NFL Thursday night football preview as well, where we've also got some other great pick'ems for you. If you guys are playing on Underdog, we got some NFL, maybe pair them with some NBA, have some fun out there. Good luck in all of your sports betting endeavors today on this Thursday. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.